Hey y'all, it's Kelsey. I'm here to make another video about Egypt. I actually just got a request asking what I wore in Egypt, so I thought that I would pop on here and throw up another video. I actually didn't expect the last video from Egypt to do so well. I didn't know there were so many questions about Egypt, so I will do my best to show you guys what I wore. I picked everything from my closet that I actually brought to Egypt, which was not a lot of different clothing. I wore a lot of the same clothing because my backpack wasn't that big. I wore a lot of loose clothing, a lot of thin materials. I didn't want anything super heavy because I knew it was going to be really hot there. I went in October and there were days where I was like, okay. Am I dying? Like, is it hot? Like, what's happening? Egypt was like really hot, and like some days would be super humid and some days would be like super dry. So I like never really knew what to wear, so what I picked and what I brought I thought was a good choice. Right before I left for Egypt, actually, I couldn't find a lot of clothing for the Middle East here in Canada because it was winter, so a lot of clothing stores were putting out like big sweaters and parkas because I live in Canada. So that was a bit difficult. I did end up finding some stuff, which was great, but I tried to blend in as much as possible in Egypt. Obviously it was a bit hard. I have blonde hair, blue eyes, and I'm very fair skinned. But what I wore, I tried to blend in as much as possible. I tried to not show a lot of skin. When I went into temples, I tried my hardest to wear the appropriate clothing. I basically never wore anything really tight. I already got a lot of attention when I was there, and I didn't want to draw any more attention to myself. So I tried to blend in with the clothing and the shoes as much as possible. So I would wear this on the daily basis. I was only there for about like 8 days, I think. So I wore these baggy pants. They're very thin. You can't really see them because they're black. But they're very like thin, very loose. You can't see any shape of my leg. I wore this button up, and I tried to button up as much as I could just so that it wasn't showing a lot of skin. I just think it was a little bit more respectful. It did get hot, but I was willing to. But these pants actually saved my life because the wind would go right through them and it would give my legs a little bit of a break. We did go into a lot of different temples and sacred places. I tried to cover up my head as much as possible. I just brought a black scarf. It was very generic, very boring, nothing special to it. I would normally tie my hair back because it did get really hot, so I never really had my hair down. But I would just kind of like drape the scarf over my head, like so. Sometimes like I would go like this, give it a little bit of air to flow through my hair because it did get really hot. Black is probably not the best. You could do white, you could do design, and you could do whatever you want. But I just kind of had it like this, draped over myself all the time, like when we went into places. I would 100% recommend bringing a scarf because you're gonna want to wear one eventually. Instead of having to buy one there or go searching for one, it's just best to bring your own. This one is really thin, so it doesn't bring in a lot of heat, doesn't trap a lot of heat. So there was days that I didn't want to wear the same thing in a row because it was getting a little bit dirty. So there were days that I actually wore jeans. From my experience, I wouldn't recommend it. It just draws more attention. I wore jeans I think maybe once, and that was kind of enough for me. I just got way too much attention. But when I did not show my bum. I did not. I tried to cover up as much as possible. I wore this shirt. It's like very loose, very like nothing to it. Sometimes I would wear like this, and then I would have kind of like a little cardigan over top. Because this shirt does not cover my bum, so I would kind of have a little like cardigan like this that did cover my bum, that wasn't like anything crazy, and it's super thin, so the air of course goes right through it. It does cover up. It tries to like keep your arms open so you're not too covered, so you're not too hot on those really extremely hot days, but it does cover your bum, which I think is really important if you are going to wear something tight. When I was there, I would mix it up with like different button-up shirts, like I said, really loose clothing. I never showed bra straps. I never wore super short shorts. With my shoes, I wore kind of like little sneakers. I had little sandals as well, little strappy sandals. I did notice a lot of the time when I would wear sandals like that, my feet got stared at a lot, so I kind of switched it to wearing flats, just like black flats, nothing special. Do wear shoes that are comfy because I didn't, and my feet got really sore. So maybe bring some insoles or something. Like I said, I would bring little sandals like these. Nothing special. They did give my feet a little bit of a break when my feet were really hot. Then I had these white shoes. They're just little like flats, little like day shoes, nothing special. Then when I switched it to flats, I just kind of wore something like this, something basic, nothing crazy. Those shoes kind of saved me. I also brought running shoes for those really long days where you're hiking in and out of temples, in and out of pyramids, going on day trips. But yeah, I think that kind of covers all the bases. I kind of wore very generic stuff. I didn't wear like a lot of flashy things. Like I said, I didn't want to stand out more than I already did. But if you guys have any questions, please comment below. I try to get to them as fast as possible. I do try and film a lot of videos, but unfortunately I filmed maybe like 5 in the past like 4 months, and they either delete, I don't like the way they turn out, or I have to refilm them or something like that. But I'm going to try my hardest to come up with more about Egypt, because I feel like there's not a lot of videos out there about Egypt, and I love hearing from everyone. So if you have any questions or comments, just comment below and I would be happy to answer them. And if you have any video requests, I would be happy to make one, as long as I know the answers to what you guys are asking. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and